Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I have another Sims 4 speed build for you, and this one's actually kind of a personal one to me because this is actually a replica of the apartment I lived in back when I was doing my master's degree. So that was about like 5-6 years ago, so it's been a little bit, but this was actually, out of all the apartments I ever had, I moved a lot during my undergrad and my master's. This one was my favorite, just because it was just literally me and a neighbor. Like, there were no upstairs or neighbors really to the side except for that one. So that was actually pretty luxurious, and it was basically just like a little neighborhood of a bunch of these little, they look like little houses, and it's just kind of divided down the middle. And so it's just a 1-bedroom, 1-bath on each side. And I do furnish both sides, and I do furnish the left side, which was my apartment, the way I had it. And it felt like I was missing furniture. And I think that's because if you've ever tried to replicate a real build in The Sims, the dimensions are just a little bit off. Like, it just doesn't seem right. Like, I had to make it a little bit bigger, but then it was like then too big. Like, it wasn't actually that big in real life. So I think things just kind of felt off, because I actually end up having to move it to a different lot in a little bit. So if you randomly see us end up on a different lot, that's why. So I couldn't get the dimensions quite right. It just needed to be a little bit wider. And because the lot was an odd number of tiles, it just wasn't working because I needed it to be symmetric. So we end up moving it, so don't worry, it does like work out. And there's not a ton of landscaping. Really, like, the whole thing was kind of surrounded by pine straw, which, I don't know, like, I felt like it looked really nice, but honestly, I feel like it caused there to be like bugs. But maybe that's just my hypothesis. I have actually no proof of that, but that's just kind of what I felt like. But this apartment was awesome because we actually had our own trash cans, which, if you've ever like lived in like an apartment complex, I feel like it's rare, at least where I live, to have your own. Usually there's like a dumpster somewhere that you need to go walk or drive your trash to whenever you need to throw it out. Or maybe, like, I've never had it before, but like trash chutes, like, or something like that. I feel like that would be convenient. But this was the first time I ever had my own trash can, and it was amazing. So I didn't have to like lug my trash somewhere. And they actually had it to where someone from the apartment complex, like the people that owned it, would come and take it to the road and bring it back on trash day, which was so amazing. But one day, y'all, I thought someone stole my trash can. Like, legitimately, like, I couldn't find my trash can. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I called the city. I was like, how do I get a new trash can? Like, what is going on? And I did find it, but the weird part was, so like, you'll see this when we actually moved to the other lot. The back of this like apartment was just a lot of like greenery. Like, I just put some bushes and some trees back there, but literally there was nothing back there. And I never went back there. Like, I don't have a reason to. There was nothing back there. So apparently my trash can ended up behind my apartment. Like, why? I have no clue. I don't even know what made me go look back there, because like, why would I have ever thought it would have ended up there? But anyways, I found my trash can, so that is good. And I did actually, do I really have more than one weird trash can story? I actually, at my old house, so they came and actually took our trash can, which was kind of bizarre. So like, I lived like outside of city limits in my old house, and basically there wasn't trash pickup. So we had to like hire our own service to do it. And literally, I am at home one day, and like, I hear like some loud noise, like a van or something in front of my house. I look out the windows, and it's an unmarked white van stealing my trash can. I'm not joking. Like, this dude got out, took my trash can, threw it in the back of this truck, and left. And I was like, what? Like, how is this even happening? So I actually, we ended up having to call the company, and like, it turns out that there was somebody down the road that used that company that had moved, and so they were picking up the trash can from that house, but they picked up ours instead, like by accident. So I guess it, so it wasn't like stolen, but like, what? So then they had to bring back our trash can, like, because they had taken it. It was so bizarre. The white van came back and put our trash can back, but it was a really weird day. Like, I didn't know what to do. Like, that was really bizarre. I don't know how I have 2 weird trash can stories, but there you go. So if you were interested in knowing. So at this point, we are moving to the bigger lot because I just needed to expand it out. It just wasn't quite wide enough. You can say I'm just kind of moving stuff around. And then fun fact, I have never used like my apartment patios. Like most of my apartments had one and I just never used it. Like this one, I never used ever. It was a lovely, lovely patio, but I never used it. Ever. Now in this build, I do put some furniture out there in case you want to use the build because I feel like that makes sense, but I didn't actually have anything out there. I think my neighbor did, but I did not, and I've never used them, and it was to the point where one time I was living in an apartment complex, and it was one of like the big buildings, and the neighbor that lived above me, like I randomly talked to them, and they were like, "Oh, you live in the apartment below us? Oh, we thought that was just a vacant apartment because there's nothing on the patio." Like, what? No, I just don't go on the patio. Like, that's not really my thing. But like, they just thought it was vacant because I didn't have anything out there, which I thought was kind of funny. Maybe that's why they were super loud, like running around their apartment all the time because they didn't think anybody lived below them. But I did. So anyways, that was kind of a random fun thing that happened. People thought I just didn't exist. But see, here I can like expand it out a little bit, and again, adding more pine straw. I feel like I do this several times because I actually realize, as I'm actually decorating the apartments, that there was like a washer and dryer in this apartment, and I had forgotten while I was building it. Like, I guess you can tell it was really 5 years ago. Like, I'm trying to remember actually just from memory. I didn't like look it up. I just kind of, just what I remember of it. And then I actually do put like a little parking lot in front, which was really how it was, which was very luxurious and nice because you don't have to park super far away, which I did for some of my apartments. So you could park right out front of this one, which was awesome. And then I do put 2 mailboxes on this lot. I don't actually know how The Sims deals with that. But I feel like this is either both sides of the apartment will either be in your household or it'll be a roommate. So it'll ultimately just, all the mail will go to you. But I think this would be an awesome apartment to actually do some gameplay in because it's small enough that it's like easy to see like all of it, whether you have everybody in your household or you actually like have some income with a roommate, that would be pretty easy to deal with. And then I do actually try to furnish the right apartment how my neighbor's was. I only saw her apartment one time. She asked me to bring in a package for her when she was out of town one time, and she had a lot of like red like wood tones, so I ended up going with this like industrial look, and a lot of the furniture came from the industrial kit, and I think it actually turned out really well, and I actually really like it. And I feel like my apartment is a little like a little all over the place just because, I was still in college. Like, I mean, I am now, but I guess it was, 5 years ago. So I was still like figuring out my own furniture. I still had a lot of stuff I got from my parents. So it all just kind of, at least, and also I guess the pieces that I had in The Sims just looked kind of weird. Like, I do have a gray couch. I still have that couch. And then I did have like a big square ottoman, which again, I still actually have that. And it's like one of those nice tufted ones. And so I just kind of combined 2 of the rectangular ottomans in the game. And I did have a hard time figuring out what kind of like entertainment center I wanted to use because mine was like a cubicle, but it was like a long, short one. And there's just not one like that in the game. So I tried my best. And again, like with the dining room table, I tried my best because I ended up actually in my apartment having a round glass table. And there are no smaller glass round tables in the game, and the only like tables that are round were huge and definitely not what would fit in this apartment, even though mine was actually pretty large for the apartment, but that's fine. it all worked out. And then I actually added these like teal, well, these aren't teal, mine are actually teal, these are more like a seafoam green chairs, and I actually got those from my old apartment where I actually had some roommates, and we just found these at a thrift store, and I ended up painting them over teal to go with my apartment to have some more seating. And they actually used to be rainbow. We painted them white and then sponged them rainbow, and that was for our dining room. We had rainbow dining chairs that didn't match. We had 2 sets of these thrift store chairs, and they were of different styles. And we actually created some silverware art. So the silverware that's actually on the wall here, I really do have two big giant silver, like a spoon and a fork, and they're in my dining room right now. So I do actually have those. They're just vertical instead of horizontal. But when I was in that other apartment, we actually created our own art, and we got some canvases and used rainbow like party wear, like utensils, and made like, I think it was like 3 canvases. And so it was like 2 or 3 colors each. Like, I don't know, it's just like this rainbow array of like forks, knives, and spoons. Y'all, like, I mean, like, if that doesn't scream like broke college student wants decor in their home, like, I don't know what does. But you know what? Like, I don't regret it one bit because it was super fun to make. And like, you know what? It worked out. It looked good for what we had. Like, even like our living room was like dark blue, black, and like neon yellow because we found this lamp like on sale that had neon yellow in it. I mean, it was, anyways, but I'm a little more put together now. But anyways, I tried to match the best I could, but they are these like wooden chairs, so I went with that. And I actually couldn't find the blue in the game anywhere that I was looking for, so I just kind of went with those. And then I also had those cubicles that you can get from like Walmart. That's what I lived out of for years. And so I put those in there, and then I actually end up putting in the corner, I have like a little table that has a fishbowl on it. And that's not true. That's not exactly what my apartment was like, because at this time I didn't have fish anymore. I had my parakeet Skylar, and he was over in the corner on his own little cubicle thing that was smaller than the other ones. But we don't have birds in this game. Fun fact, there were birds in Sims 3, but not in Sims 4, so that's kind of sad. But so we have a fish for this one in here. And then I did have like a bright pink, like yellow, blue, boho designed like comforter, and I did actually have some like Edison bulb like lights above my bed. Like I said, you just kind of do stuff. I feel like I was, I liked it though. I don't have them anymore, but I think, it worked out. I think it looked a little better in real life than it did here, but like I said, it seems really large in comparison to what it really was. Like, there wasn't quite that much space in the bedroom, but if I didn't make it that big, the other stuff didn't make sense. The bathroom did feel kind of large when I was there, like long. Like, there was nothing in the middle, but it was just felt big. And you can see I used like a colorful shower curtain. While I do love that one, I actually had a periodic table of elements shower curtain. Like, super nerdy, I know, but I had it actually for years. Like, I mean, literally since I was like a sophomore during my undergrad, like I had it for years and years. And so that's kind of what that's supposed to represent. Like, it was colorful. So I figured, that kind of worked. And then this is the point at which I remembered that there was laundry in my apartment. So, because I had the hamper, and I was like, oh my gosh, I had a washer and dryer. So they were actually in these little alcoves to the left and right. Like, one side was the washer and one side was the dryer. So I do stick those in there. Of course, if you don't have laundry day, you can change it around, do whatever you want to do, expand out the closet. But the closets in these apartments actually did have amazing built-ins, which were a dream. I love them. I wish like I had that kind of organization in my current closet. But it's all good. I still love my closet now, but that was just really amazing. These were awesome apartments. And I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, or at least where I live, like in kitchens, a lot of times in apartments, they don't have any like doorknobs on them, like any hardware, which always really bugged me. But this apartment actually had hardware on the cabinet. So it really was an awesome apartment. And then just kind of adding some clutter here. I feel like I've just talked about my life a lot in this versus talking about the build, but we're just adding some clutter into this space here, like where I kept like bedding, pillows, extra blankets, stuff like that. Like, basically all of my storage was in that closet. And then when we actually end up moving over to the other apartment, like I said, I did a lot of like red industrial like wood tones in that one. And I do add just a little bit of like furniture out here on the patio. Again, not realistic to my life, but may actually be useful for y'all. So I just put a set of chairs and a table out there. And then for this apartment, I think it turned out really well. I really like the way it looks. And I think it has like a little more clutter to this one. And then in the bedroom, we also use that like large bed from the industrial pack. It's not technically larger than any of the other beds. It's just, it has the, it's a 4-poster. It has the like canopy kind of thing going on. I forgot exactly what it's called, but that one, you can see it there on the screen right now. And there were actually ceiling fans, which were really nice. And I think it looks like it might be clipping a little bit, but it's all right. I'm guessing it'll still work. And I created like my own like piece of furniture here with like a coffee table and that big dresser. And I thought that looked really cool. Ignoring the fact that I don't know how you'd get that in or out of an apartment because it's pretty big, but it's a Sims, so we don't have to worry about it. Unlike trying to lug your own furniture around from place to place if you move. And I didn't put like a ton of stuff in here because, and like even in mine, there's not like a ton of stuff. Because I wanted you to be able to actually customize this if you'd like to. And on that topic, it is already on the gallery under my username spicensprinkles, all lowercase, and it's down below if you would like to see it written out. And there's no punctuation in there, and I just say that because my Instagram account does have periods in it to kind of separate out the spice and sprinkles. So it's a little more legible. But anyways, the Instagram, please check that out if you want to. There's a bunch of kind of baking stuff on there, so similar to a lot of the shorts and stuff I have here, except it's a lot of photos because I enjoy taking photos of the stuff that I bake. And then down below I also have a playlist for my other speed builds and just other videos in general. If you wanted to check those out, please feel free to do so. And then back here on the patio, I actually gave this person their own like table and a grill and everything because I think they actually used their porch, unlike me, and actually had some stuff out there. So I tried to replicate that. I don't know what was on the porch, but I was just kind of guessing. But anyways, if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more like it. I would super appreciate it. And let me know in the comments down below if you have any apartment experiences or if you have any other build ideas. I would love to hear them. But I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye, everybody.